Good evening, everyone. Today is Friday, March 3rd. My name is Tyler. I serve on staff at Northwest Hills UMC as the Director of Youth and Digital Ministry, and I welcome you to this video, the second in our 2023 Lenten Reflection series. And I hope that tonight's video is a short one that can just help you ease into your weekend as you look to find ways to encounter God anew and afresh this season of Lent. And I begin today's reflection by saying simply, today was an objectively beautiful day. Now it's Friday, and Fridays are often a day that my wife and I both have off from work. And we like to use Fridays to just kind of do whatever speaks to our souls and take that time to care for our relationship and each other. And we had originally planned to go for a hike today, but after last night's storm, we were a little bit concerned that hiking trails would be a little bit muddy, and so instead we took our dog for a long walk through and around our neighborhood. And again, I want to stress that for these, 2 hours that we were out, it was just gorgeous, the perfect day. The sun was out, and there was this beautiful breeze coming through, so it was warm but not hot, and the breeze was cool but not cold. And I couldn't have asked for better weather for a walk through my neighborhood. And as I was contemplating that, even on our walk, I was struck by just how different today's weather was from that of last night's weather. And as I sat down to think about my week and look back on everything that I have experienced and where I've seen God and felt God over this last week, I kept coming back to this duality of nature, that we can move so quickly from a day like today that was perfect in literally every way for my human thriving, to a night like last night, which was categorically unsafe for human thriving. And as I sat with that duality, I have been sort of not quite overwhelmed, but moved and humbled by the similar sort of duality of who God is. That we worship a God who is at once so much greater and larger than my own understanding, a God who commands power I could never imagine, a God who designed and set these weather systems into motion to care for our planet and create this atmosphere to sustain life, who is also the same God who knows every hair on my head, the same God who knit you together in your mother's womb, the same God who would accept the suffering and humiliation of death on a cross for all of our sakes. And as I hold those two, not conflicting truths, but certainly very different truths in my hands, I have been moved by how small I am. And I have found myself over this last hour, as I've tried to imagine what it is that God was calling me to share in this video, I've found myself honestly finding a lot of truth in these words from the psalmist in Psalm 8, who writes, "What are humans that you, God, are mindful of them? What are mortals that you care for them?" And so I've just been very grateful for this day and for this chance to go outside and feel so small and connected to the God who calls up mountains and summons the wind and the rain, and the God of this earth, in a way that's also made me feel and recognize that I am just a grain of sand here on this place. And I'm a grain of sand that God chooses, and that God chose, and that God loves and loved and will love. And that's really cool. And so I looked at the weather, and it is going to be sweet for the next week. And so I pray and hope that if you see this video, you're able to schedule a little bit of time to break the regular routine of your week, of your life, to just get outside And if you're out there, I hope that in that warm sunshine on your face, you can feel God's love. And I hope that in that cool breeze that you can feel the movement and the power and the mystery of God's Spirit. And I hope that in all of this, you can find a place where you too are struck by your own smallness in a way that is not sad, but profound. To recognize that we are both insignificant and extraordinarily significant in the eyes of God. And that's a cool thing. So that's what I've been feeling, y'all. I will see you on Monday.